kids here have been through this situation before. What do you do when your teacher asks you why you forgot your homework? Well, the thing is, teacher, you see, I had this public speaking tournament that's tomorrow, and I had to prepare, so I stayed up 12 hours preparing for this. I'm just kidding, Coach K. I didn't stay up late preparing for this. Or, if you don't want to get that creative, you could just go through the normal routine of my dog, cat, bird, or hamster ate it or pooped on it. Your choice. Either way, my point is, I'm blaming the fact that I forgot my homework on someone or something else. In this case, I'm blaming it on this tournament. Blaming, blaming, blaming. People play the blame game every single day. Grown-ups blame it on the traffic for being late to work. You blame it on your teacher for not liking you when you get a bad grade on your homework. Yada, yada, yada. So before we go ahead and start playing the blame game ourselves, even though I'm fairly sure that many of us already have, let's try to understand it a little bit more. Many people think that people blame each other because they want to cover up their mistakes and faults. But in reality, the truth is very different. People blame each other when they get anxious and they feel that they no longer have control over the situation. When people find themselves facing a problem that they don't know how to solve, they find it easier to make it someone else's fault and burden. If you haven't noticed already, people usually blame other people because of little things like having a bad day. Because of this, they blame people who are not at all responsible for what's happening to them. So just remember, if you're looking for someone to blame, then it's your bad mood that should be blamed. Before you blame someone for something that's happening to you, you might want to ask yourself these few questions. Is he or she really the reason that I'm feeling bad? Am I just having a bad day? Am I worried? After asking yourself these few questions, you'll probably know whether that person is really to blame or not. Another reason that people blame each other is status. Many people feel a deep need for a sense of identity, and one way you can gain that is through social comparison. When you make someone else feel or seem bad, you usually feel relatively good. But then again, if you're blaming someone that's completely innocent, then you're the person who's doing something bad here. Some things you just can't blame people for. When people feel bad and they want to get rid of that bad feeling, they blame other people. If you set someone else up as bad, then you can project your bad feelings towards them. So it's literally like saying, I can't handle these bad feelings, so I want you to take them away from me. One completely mean reason to blame someone is just to get them in trouble. Why be so despicable? I don't know. Why would someone want to go around and blame people just for their own pleasure anyway? It's important to know that if someone else really is to blame, you shouldn't back down. It's important to stand up for yourself, because if you don't, the other person will definitely take advantage of your uncertainness. On the other hand, what do you do when someone else blames you for something? There are actually a couple things that you could do. You can admit it, but I would only do that if you really are to blame. You could also defend yourself. Say that you didn't do it, but you don't know who did it. Another thing you could do is directly counterattack by saying that they did it, and they just don't want to admit it. because that's usually the case. So I hope that now that I explained the blame game to you a little bit more, you understand it and you'll think before you blame someone or when someone blames you. I'm not saying that you should completely stop blaming people, but blaming your speech tournament, that's going a little too far. Thank you.